To fulfill our master's orders, we shall not hesitate to use the methods of demons, nor to stain our hands with demonic acts.
Axe body spray.
Also, by the way, I think we're nearing the part where originally, like, you weren't supposed to upload past that. I got a comment at some point saying they changed it to chapter 14 when it was 7 before, but I don't know how true that is. I guess I'm just gonna have to look into that. Since this has been out for like 2 years, I plan on pretty much uploading it anyway, but I might have to do like some editing so that you're not like getting literally just the content, you know?
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah, I might have to
yeah,
like for it.
just have to make sure that whoever commented it was actually correct.
Yeah. This one was you, I believe. So if you just...
Yeah, there was narrator and commentator, and I keep forgetting who was which.
Yeah, I don't even understand why they're different.
Okay, so I guess I'll take narrator this time. The former Prime Minister Zayden of ACR Libya was reported to have died of an illness last week. I can't speak English today, but according to a recent leak, he actually died due to a gunshot wound. This has led to a massive uproar in that country.
Our former Prime Minister, a leader of peace and democracy, was killed by the ACR royal family. I am very concerned about this. Africa must not fall back into a dark age. We request humanitarian military support from the ABN military to protect the people of Africa.
ACR Royal Family Press Royal Family Press Secretary Rafini said this measure was taken because making any announcement before the investigation concluded might have led to a panic and in fact confirming the leak. Can't speak English today.
This crime was committed by secret agents of the ABN Guidance Department, which has always challenged the harmony of the African continent. A male and female member of the ABN involved with this assassination have already been arrested, and we have asked that the International Criminal Police Department issue an official notice regarding 4 other participants. Oh, also, I mentioned something last time. I don't know if it was actually last episode. It might have been 2 episodes ago. Oh, what are you doing? Stop. About how earlier in the story they mentioned there being like traitors or something. I went back and looked at it, and yeah, according to the 3 kings, there's at least 1 traitor in all of the 4 alliances of the Gauntlet Knights. So not necessarily every team, but every alliance. So like, Warcat and Gravemole are in the same alliance, so 1 out of those 6.
Ah.
Okay. It's a narrative.
So there's just 1 person from each.
Oh,
like.
Yeah. Also, there was something else I was gonna mention.
Yeah.
This writer tends to do a thing where the main character that you're introduced to first ends up being less relevant than another side character who kind of takes the role of main character and later on in the story. That just is a thing that they do. So I was wondering, like, if we could try to guess that early who it would be. My guess is that it's someone from Gravemole, probably either Kushka or the one with the blue hair. I don't remember her name.
The one who's supposed to be in charge of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her name either.
I'm gonna guess either of those 2 are probably going to be the secretly more important character.
Secretly. Yeah. Anyway, the ABN Department of Friendship, their equivalent to a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has expressed their deep regret at these comments and...
Just now, ABN Pakistan's mining machines all started operating at once. The suspension of the Kashmir Spirit Field dispute, which both the ABN and COU supposedly agreed to, is now over. Ever since the disputed Kashmir region was found to contain a large-scale spirit field, the ABN and COU have each publicly encouraged the other to show self-restraint while simultaneously claiming that they themselves ought to possess the Kashmir region. This issue has been suspended for quite some time, but it seems that the moment has finally come for them to clash openly.
Ah, yes.
By the way, I just don't have all the voices in me today, so even though these are technically different characters, you're probably getting the same voice.
Yeah.
The foreign ministers of COU China and COU India have both released statements. They are harshly criticizing the ABN, stating that their breach of the agreement by resuming mining operations will not be tolerated, and that they must bear responsibility for whatever happens next.
World news has suddenly gotten so exciting. Is the information overload making you old people lose your minds?
Boomer. What voice did I give this guy? Or was this you? I think this one was you, right? I had the other two, I think.
Yeah, I'll just assume it was this guy that I was voicing.
Yeah. It would count as information if this was news, but it isn't news to us. After all, when they announce the news, they're just reading the manuscript aloud for us.
Precisely. All is in the name of guiding humanity down the right path. I can't read today. However, the Kashmir region isn't the only spirit field problem the COU has.
Oh my god, is that Barack Obama?
Looks like it. There's also the Glass Sea of Japan.
I can't believe Barack Obama is canon to the When They Cry universe.
Well, why wouldn't he be? The vast glass sea that separates COU Japan and AOU Japan has been maintained by both countries as the symbol of peace and a World War relic, and they attempted to use it as an opportunity to build harmony.
I want to know the backstory of how Obama got this far in the future.
he just said that, I forget what that thing is called, but the thing where you like preserve your body in a thing.
Cryostasis?
Yeah, that. He just did that. Anyways, where was it? Build harmony. Yeah, at least until recently.
Well, ha 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 ha. I suppose it's natural for the rare spiridium to become a source of disputes.
Who would have predicted that a spirit field of rare spiridium would be found in the earth below the Glass Sea?
AOU Japan did a soil analysis first, discovering that a vast spirit field existed there, but they concealed that information and effectively prevented a soil analysis. Oh, I'm dying. The soil analysis by COU Japan. AOU Japan says their announcement was merely delayed and that they hadn't intended to conceal anything, but the COU strongly suspects that they were trying to keep the spirit fields all for themselves.
Ooh. COU Japan claims that the Glass Sea, I keep saying Glass Sea, the Glass Sea was divided in half so that the western half belongs to them, but AOU Japan claims that the Glass Sea is a neutral zone managed by both countries. COU Japan has suggested that they might station border guards in the area, so it seems unlikely that the Glass Sea of Japan will escape. I can read. Will escape becoming another disputed territory. I'm just imagining that the narrator stops in the middle, just looks weirdly at his paper, is like, wait a minute, I can read this.
Yeah. Your Excellency, we've received a report from our COU Japanese comrades that the stationing of border guards will take place in 48 hours.
Wait, yeah. Everything is proceeding smoothly. Even though they lost almost all the their pieces in the big war, they've managed to scrape together this much in just over a century. I must admit, I'm impressed. Clap, clap, clap.
Pachi, pachi, pachi. We also have reports that their pawns hidden in countries around the world have all started taking action at once. Are you sure we shouldn't make our move?
Nah, it'll be fine. If half or so of the world gets destroyed, that's probably just what humanity needs about now. Civilization is a unicycle that humanity is constantly riding. If they stop, they fall.
Their secret plan is to end the epidemic of baby hands.
Exactly. So they have to keep on moving. Also, I like how whenever it's the guy in the dark suit, it's plural men, like it's several men talking at once.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they're just one character, like the class.
Yeah, it's just several men talking at once. Anyway, the only problem is that civilization has an end.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yeah.
My guess is that there's like a group of like guards and some of them are speaking up like each time it's just a different person.
Yeah, it's funnier if it's just all of them talking at once. When you reach that end, they will definitely come. It'll be a festival, a harvest festa. Everything will be reaped without even a single husk left behind. It'll all be pulled up by the roots.
Man, with all due respect, please pull up your pants.
Exactly. Compared to that, World War IV will be far more humane. If you just rewind the world's civilization a little, the end of civilization will be that much further away. And weapons of mass destruction have already been eradicated. See? Nothing to worry about at all. Ah ha ha ha.
Okay. We have new information about the Atlantis Spirit Field issue in the Atlantic.
That guy just looks like he doesn't have a nose.
The ARU American government has made a statement that the ACR, which currently has a unilateral military presence in that area, must withdraw the warship Atlantis of the ACR Combined Navy in 2 weeks. I want to look at this for a second. Okay, so that's the CAU. That's ACR, the Africa Commonwealth Realm. Okay. Let's see. America and Russia. China and India. So, like, apparently half of Japan is owned by this, which is America and Russia, and half is China and India.
Imagine Americans and Russians working together.
Well, apparently after a Third World War, so we still have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
ABN, okay, Abrahamic Brothers Union, Europe, Middle East, Africa, okay, you got that, okay, just making sure I understand all that. If they do not, the ARU American Navy will dispatch their Atlantic fleet to that location. Okay, say the ACR, so let's say African. Okay.
I still don't get it, but okay. They demand that ACR withdraw a single ship?
It's classified as a warship, but the Atlantis is a Super Fortress class segmented warship. An ocean fortress made of 7 massive linked warships.
Oh.
That's like the game that Jane played, right?
I think.
Where the boss was just like 7 ships that are just like...
Oh. Yeah. Wait, yeah.
It's more powerful because there are more of them. And they're just like connected.
But with what?
I have no idea. It's tape probably.
Yeah, totally.
It's also a symbol of their occupation of the Atlanta Spirit Field, so it's hard to imagine the ACR going along with this. Oh, hi, Obama.
He just looks like he's just faceless Obama. Another news item, Justin. The ACR royal family, referencing 12 murders, including that former Prime Minister Zayden, has demanded the return of Supreme Supreme Chancellor Bellumi of the Liberal Democratic Party African Liberation Front, who is currently receiving political asylum in COU, Madagascar. I got through that eventually.
Yes.
It is unlikely that the COU will respond to this demand, and may think this will further complicate the Mozambique Channel issue, which concerns heating up of travel. Which concerns a heating up of travel restrictions through the area near the Lemurian Spirit Field.
And now for our next item. Just now, despite repeated requests from the ABN Oracle Department to resist, the seven-state alliance in Western Abian Ukraine has started holding a national referendum on whether to seek admission into AOU Russia. The AOU Russian military is concentrated on their border and has hinted that they might enter as part of a humanitarian operation to protect the citizens of Russian descent if the worst were to happen. Of course, the ABN Peace Department has vehemently objected to this. It's suspected that behind the scenes, complicated religious issues that have been forcibly silenced are at play here. This powder keg may have been lit last month when several VIPs of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church were arrested. Can someone tell me when religion has ever done anything good politically?
If I knew politics, I probably still wouldn't have any examples. Meanwhile, on the internet, theories are theories that all of these international tensions are being fueled by a Leto international conspiracy have been gaining steam.
Blogger?
Wait, should I take this?
Wait, no, I got this. Hang on. It's a conspiracy by the countries of Leto trying to get the other four factions to take each other out. The four factions must maintain self-restraint and calmly deal with these issues.
I'm not sure what you did there, but...
Now is the time for peace and coexistence. The anti-pacifist Leto must be annihilated.
What?
Leto must stop monopolizing rare spiridium fields and share them with the rest of the world. Well, Leto, the world's greatest supplier of rare spiridium, is periodically set up as the villain of international conspiracies. Leto is the one with the funky music in the bar.
Yeah. It's for some weird thing happened and it zoomed in on a different thing, and I'm just like,
Does it look fine?
yeah, now it's fine. It was just weird for 1 second. And I don't know what happened, but it was funny.
Okay. I'm just looking at these backgrounds to see if there's a secret reference somewhere, but I don't see one.
Ah.
In particular, okay, major countries that were affiliate. Did I read any of this? I don't remember. In particular, old major countries who look down on nations affiliated with Leto in the B3W era are rumored to be unsatisfied with Leto's international leadership in the A3W society, even to the point of jealousy.
Well, now you've heard it.
Yeah. It seems the military tension springing up across the world will affect all factions, even Leto. Whom?
What is? Why is that arm look so weird?
It cuts off where the body should keep going.
Yeah.
Is he
What?
is he squeezing his back together?
Is that just how he stands? And where are his eyes?
This has been quite a day. It's just one bit of unsettling news after another. Oh god, I can't do both of these. Okay, you want to take the fat guy?
Yeah, sure.
As if you didn't know about these things beforehand, Your Excellency. In the highest class private room of a resort hotel, an old pudgy military official and Tojiro were sharing a meal.
He doesn't get a name.
It's probably the same guy as the last scene.
Yeah.
There were MPs in the four corners of the room, all staring at Tojiro. By the way, get it? It's like Jiro, like Jiro Tomitake. And yeah.
Humans are all despicable creatures after all. The feeling of superiority we get simply from knowing things a bit sooner than the general public makes a good drink that much more delicious. Gahaha.
If we keep this up and dash straight into world... sorry, I'm dying again. If we keep this
Relatable.
up and dash straight into World War I'm gonna do this. No. Yes, 4. I got it.
Yay.
I did it. Because it's...
Clap, clap, clap.
Because V is 5, and then the 1 being or the I, which counts as 1, being before it, means it's less than.
That's a pun, because you said before.
Silence. Let's not sober them up.
Yeah. No one wants that. This modern sort of tension sometimes builds during peacetime, but whenever it does, they beautifully make up and give the world as new as a good story with nice moral. Yeah, everyone wants a scenario like that to play out. And that's what will happen this time, too. He really does look like he's just squishing himself.
He's not even that fat, he's just like squishing himself.
Yeah.
After all, unless you give humans some tension every now and then, they start to forget how precious peace is. It's that's actually very true.
Hmm.
You also forget how grateful they are to the people who protected that peace. It's kind of like the whole end of history thing, where because all of the crazy stuff has happened in the past, quote unquote, people feel like it can't happen now, but that's not true at all.
Exactly.
Thank you for agreeing with me.
I was agreeing with you, but then I also read the thing and I'm just like, oh, we had the same word to say. Okay. After all, this spurt of international attention will make for an excellent chance to show off the true purpose of militaries and related institutions, whose job has become nothing more than earning medals in the Battle Standard Festival under the noble guise of being servants of peace.
Hey, we got a shorter name for that.
Also, when I was reading the word servants, I keep wanting to say seers.
Wow. Humans are foolish creatures who respect proactive occupations but show absolutely no respect for the reactive ones. Though militaries were hailed as guardians supporting the walls of peace, their budgets had started to decline everywhere in recent years. After all, national borders had been maintained thanks to a healthy military balance, and they were now wonderfully stable. Not only that, but the newest type of weapon, the gauntlet, was made ready for practical use. A few thousand suitable youths would be able to replace millions of soldiers. In the end, militaries around the world would probably be dismantled.
Sad.
This development was hardly amusing for old men with vested interest in the military's upper echelons, as well as high-ranking men in active services who wanted their spots. I saw that word upswing for a minute, and it looked wrong at first, but no, that's actually a word. I don't know who it is, but if only we had an upswing of military tensions giving me a chance to shine. Oh, okay. A lot of military men were thinking that way. It's just like how there would never be an exterminator who wants all bugs to go extinct. However, there were quite a few old men who didn't care about the future, who were more interested in how much easy money they could make now. By the time all militaries were dissolved, they would be long retired. Why should they care what happened after that? To them,
Boomers.
yeah, I mean, basically.
Yeah.
To them, these global military tensions, which were building after such a long time, would be their last festival, and a chance to rake in the dough. The military officer rose to his feet and gazed through a window at a well-lit pool under the night sky.
Kojiro, I hear you're a fairly well-known broker in this area. One of my friends in the Department of Defense says he's making a killing thanks to you.
Both metaphorically and literally. Oh? Wonder who that friend might be. When doing business with me, being loose-lipped is against the rules.
No. His lips were indeed tightly sealed.
I made sure of that with my super glue.
And I can guarantee that he'll never speak of you again as long as he lives.
Because he can no longer open his mouth.
Have no fear, Toshiro.
He's gonna have to, like, eat through his nose from now on.
That'd be weird.
I see. So that's why he never responds when I ask him to go out for a drink.
Yeah, because he can't verbally respond.
That's why whenever I call him, I just hear
Toshiro, I'm not a small fry like him. I have power.
Do you see my gut?
It holds all my power.
That's stored. I'm like
I
Fat
wish.
Gum from My Hero Academia.
I have no shortage of strong cards to play, and with those cards, I can help you earn even more power.
Would you mind showing me those cards?
He just throws them up. Anyone who I can't read English. I've never shown my cards to anyone who hasn't brought me a sack of money, but you're different, Toshiro. More handsome. Very well, as an apology for inviting you here so abruptly, I'll show you.
I mean, can you blame him? The military official signaled to an MP with his chin. His chins, you mean? You've got a mail, Pollo. It's got an attachment file, Pollo. An email had been sent to Tojiro's Cellcom. He quickly checked the attached file. In it was a record of a top-secret meeting at the IPMA, the International Peace Mediation Association. It showed that they had decided to take a wait-and-see approach, familiar phrasing, practically speaking, regarding the feuds that had popped up simultaneously all over the world. Wait-and-see approach is a constant theme in this game, in these games and stories.
It's also the constant approach of me in life.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you remember in Higurashi, that was the thought process of the Child Consultation Center.
Oh, yeah.
The digital signature was good. This was real. It wasn't exactly surprising. Considering this man's position and connections, it shouldn't have been impossible for him to get his hands on this. This card's not bad, Your Excellency. These files were surely precious things, capable of predicting the future state of the world.
Cards I have are really nothing special. I hear you have some very nice cards yourself, and that you have all sorts from all over the globe.
They're talking about their Pokemon card collection.
Yes.
Compared to your cards, mine are a little more than a parking pass.
Why did he get close?
Feel my belly.
God. It's like he just walked out to him and starts rubbing his belly on Toshiro's arm.
Well, he wants to show off the power that he has stored up.
Of course. Because it's over 9,000. Toshiro, I want to be your new friend. Or are you thinking that wouldn't be useful to your business?
The plump military official held out his
Lump,
big, greasy hand for a handshake. Tojiro
lump.
chuckled and grasped the man's hand. You won't notice unless you look closely, but this was a slightly unique handshake with a particular arrangement of fingers. So he's slipping something into his hands.
Yeah. I'm glad to have formed an amicable relationship with you. Now that you've joined forces with me, I promise to make you rake in the dough.
And I promised to earn you even more. Or rather, if I didn't, I get the feeling I'd be footing the bill for my stay here.
Hey, Tojiro. As your new friend, and since we're exchanging business cards, could I ask you to reveal just one tiny card of yours?
The military official suddenly smirked impishly. It was the sort of unpleasant familiarity often used by people who don't really want to be called friends. In that case, to celebrate my friendship with your excellency, here's your card. Do you have stock in any environmental AMS related companies?
Of course. Stock in 8MS companies is like a goose that always lays safe golden eggs. What?
Saying that it's not a risky investment.
Ah.
It's gonna constantly go up at a slow rate. You may want to sell that off bit by bit.
Why?
Well, now, that would be a different card, Your Excellency.
I like how it looks like he just got closer and then Tojiro just turns away, just like
Yeah,
nope.
no.
You aren't testing me, are you?
Not at all. If you really do trust me, then you had better do as I say. I'm starting to wonder if this is like allergies or something, because I've never had allergies before.
Oh. Why would it be allergies if you've never had allergies?
Well, you can develop them, but it's not impossible.
True.
Okay, if environmental AMS were to run into some kind of trouble, the whole world would go back up to its nanomachine allergy of... There we go. The century passed. It must be the nanomachines. If that happens, it will already be too late.
He looks so flustered. I understand, Tojiro. I'll take this friend's warning to heart. First Lieutenant Valentino.
I don't remember who did what. There are so many freaking characters in this game.
I think we must have shuffled some back and forth already.
Okay.
I guess I'll do her because no, I think last time I did do her.
Okay.
I don't remember who else.
Okay.
Oh, anyways, I'm right here. Tojiro is my friend, of course. Tell the public safety office that they may remove their mark on him. You may leave. As you wish, Your Excellency.
Valentina saluted and left the room. As she walked through the hall, her Kizuna told her that a friend had sent her a message.
Why did I read saluted as somersaulted?
Yep. You received a message from friend Mara Carmen, Poyo. Did you see the news? It looks like all kinds of crazy things are happening all over the world. I even got a notification saying that I might get caught up in some kind of conspiracy, so I needed to be careful of anything suspicious. Seriously, what will I do if a war really does break out? I only became a gauntlet knight because I wanted to fly. I don't want a war. Seriously.
Eh.
Opening text editor Poyo.
Don't be silly. Of course there won't be a war. No one wants war. They're all just amusing themselves with this situation that smells like war. It's just like how you enjoy being scared of ghosts every year during Halloween.
Message sent to Mayor Conrad Poyle.
You became a soldier because you wanted to fly.
Monsters all over the world are wriggling in the darkness, trying to start a greed-filled carnival. Only those who predicted the wave and managed to move first will survive and get rich. You became a soldier because you wanted to fly? Cool.
That cheap resolve is going to cost you.
I have no idea what's happening.
Cool.
See, it's harder for me to really pay attention to what's going on when I'm reading and voicing these characters. So I tend to like go back and like listen to someone else's playthrough up to the point to where I got so that I can understand what I saw better.
Yeah.
A friend has arrived, Poyle.
Jaden, thanks for waiting. Sorry I'm late.
I don't mind that. Not at all. Of course, that was a lie.
Huh?
Was it really today? Was this really the right time? Was this really the right place? I wanted to say there's like a 90% chance this song gets remixed into like a sad or epic theme later on.
Yeah, I can see that.
He had checked the mail thread with his mental tablet too many times, with so much so that he'd asked, "Do you want to set this as your default wallpaper, Bono?"
What?
I think. Wait, who had grass head? I forget.
Grass. I don't remember, but the only word that's coming to my head when I look at him is lemongrass. Because his outfit's a lemon and his hair is grass. Should I just do him anyways?
I think I get this guy mixed up with a different guy who has like, it was like pink or blue hair or something. And I think one of us does one of them and then one of us does the other.
I think this is me, so I'll do it, and then like if it wasn't, then we can switch back.
Okay.
Damn, she didn't cancel at the last minute.
I know this was me. How can you be so rude, Abdul? Also, you owe me one credit. A late woman is the one for you. A late man must commit seppuku. Arriving first and waiting is what makes a man. In the virtual room inside Jaden's head, all his male friends from the public bath were giving him support. After all, because super genius Jaden's parallel processing ability had been recognized at a young age, he had grown up in a special institution. Forget that baptism of American boys known as the prom. He hadn't had any exciting contact with the opposite sex at all. He did have a naturally cheery personality, and he knew from sitcoms how attractive guys were supposed to act. But this was his first time putting that into practice. Just starts acting like meow. A closely fought battle had taken place between the pressure of making sure his first date had a good time and his pride and embarrassment at the thought of having to ask his friends for help. Eventually, the former... God, my freaking nose. My nose is, like, constantly itchy, and it's, like, sort of runny, and sometimes wants to sneeze. I'm dying. Eventually, the former won out, and he had gathered his friends in a virtual room so they could offer him support during his date. Pretty sure I had this one. I'm pretty sure this is the guy I was talking about. Hey boy, shouldn't you start by complimenting the girl who got dressed up for this day? Oh, right. Your clothes look really cute today.
Thanks. But I overdid it a bit, and it looks like my shoes don't really fit me.
They're adorable girly shoes. You might have Meow's body, but you look so cute when you're Meow.
Minus.
Yes, my guy.
Minus 5 points. When dealing with this CPP, it's safer to avoid comparing them to their other personalities.
Crap.
I picked them because they're cute, but there's no point if it's hard to walk in them.
It's like we're watching someone play a dating sim.
Exactly. And on the big day of our date too.
Whoa.
What is that?
I'm stuck
face?
already. How am I supposed to respond to that? I'd say don't worry about it being hard to walk. Just hold my hand and we'll take it slow.
I show respect for the fact that she chose shoes she wasn't used to. Thanks for picking the cutest shoes for my sake. Well, I go with let's stop by a drugstore and buy some foot protection tape so your precious feet don't get hurt.
I like how it was just coincidence, but you picked the perfect guy to make the ASMR guy. For going that route, say for the sake of your lovely feet, my princess, I'd gladly become your clogs myself. How about you sin with a that's what happens when you wear stupid shoes you aren't used to, stupid. And then dilly with a speak up if you get tired, okay? I'll carry you. Woo.
What? Oh no. It looks like Jaden got confused and froze. Maybe he really just wanted to go out and have fun, and now he's creeped out because I suddenly called it a date. Get a hold of yourself. A date is a battlefield.
So kill him.
If you let your guard down, some other girl will snatch him from you.
Who was this?
I don't remember exactly.
I'll take it. Hehehe. Jaden is pretty cool after all. I was thinking about taking a shot at him.
With that
I'm not
face.
so sure about the cool part, but I've learned from this that he's surprisingly cute.
Still, I don't understand. Why did you go out of your way to get Meow shoes that were hard to walk in? You just don't get it. Wow, wow. If you taught her around in awkward shoes, the boy might lend you a shoulder. Wow.
It shows off your mentality of pure and innocent love, since if you chose those shoes for him, even though it would be difficult to walk in them. It's a splendid romantic strategy.
Jaden's hesitation is proof that he's just as nervous as she is.
This girl's definitely evil, by the way. Look at that face.
Just enjoy this feeling of awkwardness and innocence.
I'd be more surprised if she doesn't kill someone by the end of this.
Just enjoy it. That doesn't help at all.
Like Jaden, Meow had also invited the girls of the public bath into her mind, asking them to give her support. But you know what they say about having too many cooks in the kitchen. I thought it meant like a chicken. Because I thought it was like a phrase I didn't hear.
Is it too many chickens being cooked?
Yeah, that's what I thought. In the end, the support didn't help either of them at all and only ended up confusing them. Oh, if it's hard to walk, I'll walk at the same pace, so just let me know. Also, thanks for choosing such cute shoes for my sake. And let's stop by a drugstore. I want to be your clogs, stupid god. I take that back. That didn't happen.
Huh?
I was considering just closing after that line. I think that's how this story should end, on this line.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, now, when the man slips up, you must giggle and soften the mood. Now is your chance to pretend to trip and lean on his shoulder. Wow.
Meow also took all the advice she was given, pretending to trip while giggling and clinging to his shoulder, as well as poking his nose and saying, "We'd better go to the hospital and get you some help, silly," in an incredible combo move. What does that mean? What should I do?
Jaden is getting creeped out again. What should I do? Never should have gone on a date. Wah. That reading that wah just made me think of Mario Death Noise
Yes.
in Mario 64.
So the pacing and tone of this is so weird in comparison to the other ones in the series, because usually it goes like there's like lighthearted stuff at the beginning of each arc, which is like each timeline, and then it gets dark. But here we're just kind of like, here's some creepy stuff, here's some dark political stuff, here's some romantic comedy, and now here's some creepy stuff again. It's kind of weird. It seemed it would take quite some time before either realized that getting live advice during a date was a bad idea. Jaden had been the one who asked her out. Meow was the kind of personality that hid in Meow's shadow all the time, most of the time, so there weren't many chances to talk to her directly. One night, when Meow was sleeping, he had messaged Meow, and while they were engrossed in their conversation, he had strengthened his resolve, deciding that if he didn't ask her out now, it might be a long time before he got another chance. He had stepped up to a man's challenge and, miraculously, had set up today's date.
Miraculously.
Yes. The location he had chosen was Neo Akihabara in the center of Tokyo. Of course, it got its name from Akihabara, which was once hailed as the sacred land of otaku culture.
Otakus.
It was still a sacred land for subcultures in this era, but that definition is now broader. I mean, did you not expect there to be otaku stuff?
It's not really. I don't know. I don't know if I had any expectations. I just wasn't thinking very much about it.
In addition to anime, manga, and games, it was packed with all sorts of ridiculous things, including artists. Wow. Rude. Performers, underground idols, and a precision circuit board shop, and a carnivorous plant shop, a world spice marketplace, the official chess boxing shop. Chess? What does that mean? Is that like a chess, but like after every move you like punch them? And either whoever wins the chess match first or knocks the person out first wins?
I don't know, but apparently I can't read today at all because I read a precision circus.
Yes. Or is chess boxing like you just like the chessboards in boxes and like deliver them?
Or is chess boxing like you play chess but with boxes?
An underwater combat gym. The World Furry Convention. I did not expect that to be here. Monster parties. The Hairy Man Co-Sleeping Cafe. the Slug Racing Tokyo Wanyan Cup. Stop by now and get 200 sacred gems, and so on. And it was a bustling city, always filled with the enthusiasm of youths who wanted to make their dreams a reality. By the way, the original Akihabara had been swallowed up by fancy fashion skyscrapers and was now a high-class city lined with expensive brand stores on par with Ginza. These days, saying someone was Akiba style was basically meant they looked like a celebrity. Oh, your boyfriend's Akiba style? Wow. No, not that Akiba style. He's Neo Akiba style. That's become a classic gag in this era. This is a new song. At first,
Yes, it is.
At first, Jaden had thought about using a more standard route, going to a stylish place you'd expect girls to like. However, according to the advice of his friends, dates turn out better if you go somewhere both of you can enjoy rather than catering to what one person wants. The point of a date is that you both enjoy it, right? So if you're trying to entertain her, that makes you a tour guide, not her lover. But even so, how could you choose Neo Akihabara? Shouldn't it be a more grown-up city?
Grown-up cities are built to entertain grown-ups. Those two are kids. Kids should be kids and play where they don't have to strain themselves.
How much you wanna bet this guy is like 1 year older than them?
In my experience, women who want a grown-up date usually just want to show off by walking around with a hot guy.
Hey now. No time to badmouth the princess, okay?
Achoo.
Same.
That Jaden choosing such a childish city as this. It's so much more satisfying to go to a grown-up town where you can show everyone what a grown-up date you're having.
Wait, but... Wait, how would you be able to show that off if everyone there was gonna be older than you? They're not gonna be like, oh, look at this grown-up date, whatever that even means. They're gonna be like, oh, look, there's some kids here. After classifying their types and their available area of action, the city was optimal.
Neo Akihabara is famous even in the COU. They say there are all sorts of strange things there. I would like to go if I had a chance.
We heard that. I'll bet a certain person would say, such a place is not suitable for one such as you, princess.
Momotake is always strict on me. I suppose father told him to keep an eye out. But I've heard that Neo Akihabara is a immortal city filled with posters and billboards that expose women's skin. Wow. That's just too obscene.
That's the old Akihabara. Akihabara goes far beyond that. It's a melting pot of all sorts of inexplicable cultures. Come on, don't be shy and take a look. In Jaden's and Meow's brain, their friends were definitely looking down on this from above, like sightseers.
Aiden, do you come to cities like this a lot?
Well, every once in a while. I've gotten involved with subcultures briefly a few times. It's confirmed, Jaden had a furry face. It's not like I'm an otaku or anything.
I knew someone as cool as you couldn't possibly be an otaku.
Yeah. Otakus are like so antisocial, right?
You're right. It's just crazy to lock yourself up and play video games all the time.
Why were they suddenly pretending to be normies? Both of them had forgotten that they'd first met each other at a game center. In fact, Jaden loved video games, manga, and anime. And yet he was one of the lucky few who looked like a normie on the outside. By the way, Meow loved video games, manga, and anime too. Most of the time, she couldn't leave the inside of Meow's head, so entertaining herself by fishing around the internet had become a hobby of hers. After seeing this, their friends concluded that they were doing something typical of innocent couples, going into bluff mode and trying too hard to look impressive. They poked fun at them a lot under the guise of giving advice, saying, "Be honest, don't lie to her and yourself. How could you possibly like someone who can't say what they like? What they like?"
What?
Just say that they like what they like is probably what it was. Gradually, the pair of them both realized they were thinking the same exact thing and trying too hard in exactly the same way. Ah, sheesh. What's up with me today? This isn't how super genius Jaden is supposed to be. Sorry, Meow. I've just been lying my ass off trying to look cool. I love video games and stuff. I love manga too. On my days off, I'm a freaking otaku who stays shut up in his room from morning till night. I acted like I knew nothing about this city, but that's not true at all. If anything, this is my home. That maid game center we just passed? I go there all the time. I've got a freaking platinum membership card. I know I said that's creepy. I wonder what kind of person goes places like that. But this here's obviously platinum, isn't it? Thank you for your time. I don't know what that last line was supposed to be, but
I think he's just thanking a random person passing by for their time.
thank you for your time of existing in my presence. Most people won't allow that.
Of course. If you say that, well, this is the first time I've come to this city, but I've bought things from a lot of these stores over the net. And as for me, I spend all my time shut up in my brain, and I love manga and games.
I imagine that Meow constantly sees like just random packages show up to his house and is like, what?
Yeah, but I didn't want to creep you out.
The heck?
Yeah, and then
Go on.
I was just gonna say he doesn't know what the packages are until they finally communicate.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why would you buy this?"
The heck? So you've just been trying to act cool?
We're so uncool.
Do you play games too, Meow? Which manga have you read?
Stuff like One Piece, Slam Dunk, Dragon Bell. Yeah.
Whoa, so you love the classics, huh? I love all of those, and when I start reading them on my days off, it suddenly gets dark outside before I realize it. At one point, the old internet's culture had brought manga and similar industries to the brink of destruction with illegal sharing and the like. However, thanks to new A3W technologies, they were being protected again and were on the rise once more. That does not track for me. I don't see how that works. If anything, it would be shared illegally more.
I don't know what that's really talking about.
Well, like how you can just upload stuff online so people can see it for free.
Oh.
But like I don't think that problem would be solved here at all. Like I don't think this is the way it would ever be gone about anyway. If anything, they probably would just change the laws. But okay.
You say so.
Partly because manga making techniques had temporarily gone extinct, classics from A2W's golden age of manga were coming into the limelight yet again. And that's the weird thing, is that even with the age of pirating media, like that kind of stuff has become even more popular, so I don't really see how this works.
It probably doesn't.
Because like nowadays it's like crowdfunding stuff, right? There's like Patreon and stuff, and that's how this stuff exists, so I don't like... Yeah, I think the author might have a little bit of a boomer thought process on this one.
Yeah. Anyways, I left Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunted x Hunted too.
JoJo's Bizarre Barbecue was great too. One time, when my friends and I had a barbecue, I tried to do a JoJo grill, but we screwed up and dropped the meat.
It's like imagine. I just can't. Just imagine them just having a barbecue. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I want to do JoJo Grill too. I want to do the one on the cover of Volume 32.
Which JoJo character is the best at barbecuing?
Good question. If you actually ask that to people, I don't know how they would react.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like any main-ish character that would be good at barbecuing.
Well, who knows? Maybe one's surprisingly good. You just can't tell.
Maybe. You know what? I bet, crap, what's his name? I haven't read JoJo in so long. The guy for the like secondary main character from Steel Ball Run. I bet he could. The guy who does like the spinny balls. Whatever.
I haven't exactly watched. I haven't exactly watched it yet, but I think I have seen the character. I have seen the characters. That's what I'm trying to say.
We really are creepy, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I think that's us at our most honest, and this city suits it perfectly.
The two of them had finally became their real selves, relaxing and laughing together honestly.
That moment when you become yourself.
Hate it when that happens. Jaden had said something unfortunate earlier, but he really was amazed at how impossible it was to think that this was the same body as Meow's. True, her outfit and makeup really did make a difference, but can a person really look this different just by how they act? You couldn't help but be amazed by the fact that when dealing with humans, what they are on the inside matters far more than how they appear. At the same time, he felt even more affection for Meow. Even though they were going out for the first time, she had been watching him for so long, inserting compliments in the middle of Meow's lecture mode the whole time. And as his fondness increased, a certain question entered his head and wouldn't go away. However, he couldn't ask Meow directly. It would be hard to find the answer. And if he asked his friends, they might get really mad at him this time. No, but isn't this exactly the time you're supposed to rely on your adolescent friends? Are you all still here? Yeah, pretty much. We thought it would be rude to intrude any further. We were just planning to go our separate ways. If this question is inappropriate, please forget what happened today and leave quietly. I don't even mind if you unfriend me. Hey, what's up? It's not like you to be this serious. I don't know anything about CPPs, so I keep misunderstanding things and hurting people. I really am sorry that I'm so ignorant. I get all that, but there's still just one thing I have to ask.
There's no need to be so timid. Ask us whatever you want. We'll happily answer any questions you have. So is this about what to do in bed?
No, it's not like I expect that to come up on a first date. It's just, the thing I want to ask is sort of related to that. I want to make this clear. You know, the simple fact that I care about something like this might already be rude to some of the people here. But I'm basically a healthy, average, absolutely normal guy, right? Isn't it obvious that I'd want to know? About Meow, or rather, Meow. Which is he? Which sex? Can't you just check in the shower room after training? The AOU, out of consideration to various genders, was one of those anti-sexual discrimination nations. As a result, resident cards in countries allied with the AOU indicated their citizen numbers and names, but not their sexes. Information about one's sex was shared only when it became necessary at medical institutes, and even then it was shared only between the person and their hospital, and the information would be instantly removed after a certain time had passed. What a utopia. For example, in addition to men's and women's public bathrooms, there were also restrooms either could use. Just like women's restrooms, they had only stalls. However, you were allowed to use them regardless of your sex, so gender minorities could use them without having to worry about whether they were a girl or a boy. In short, even sex was a protected item of private information in AOU Japan. Gauntlet Knights, who were military officers, were given suitable lodgings for their positions. For that reason, even their showers and their fully equipped private rooms were in their fully equipped private rooms. So he had never seen whether his partner's body was male or female. Of course, any sort of touching that would allow you to determine someone's sex was illegal throughout the AOU regardless of the perpetrator's age or gender. If Meow's build had been more dramatically one way or the other, it would have been easy to tell, but he really did have a gray sort of build that could either be a man's or a woman's. You know, I'm still a guy, right? If I find I like someone, I want to form a steady relationship with them. In the end, well, I'd like to go as far as I can. That's not weird, is it? Isn't that healthy? But dang, if at the very end we get carried away, and in that final instant, if we're, sexually incompatible from a biological standpoint, what do I do?
I think those three from Yellow-Shivit could field that question best.
I don't want to talk to them.
Should I call them?
No. I want to ask the people here. Like how we're on the same page. At first,
Yeah.
everyone felt like bursting out and laughing and poking fun at him, but they did understand how he felt.
If you get the lucky for half of those 50-50 odds, I'd say there's no room for debate, so go for it. The problem is the other 50%.
Yep. You didn't fall in love with her because you're after her body, right? Doesn't really matter what her biological sex is, does it? That's right. It's Meow's heart and kindness that I fell in love with. Even if her body isn't a girl, I'll accept her. You are a true man.
However, for your own mental health, you should probably resolve this issue quickly. If your heightened libido is unable to properly supplement, you can expect to receive considerable mental damage.
So if you were able to identify your sex somehow, what do you do if Meow's body is male, Jaden? I'll do all I can to be best friends with her. What the hell am I doing? I just said I'm not after her body, but I'll be let down if her body's male? Am I just a pervert? That's not a super genius Jaden's supposed to act. I'm super uncool.
It just dies.
Credits roll.
Several of the most recent studies indicate that about 10% of the population is homosexual. Same-sex couples aren't particularly rare either.
Apparently, women these days view same-sex couples as a more pure love, since your partner isn't just after your body. Well, love takes all kinds of forms. Either way, there are many types of loves as there are lovers. If this is all true love, then you have to follow through to the end. You need not let the words of outsiders trouble you.
In the end, it's what comes. It can't English. In the end, that's what it comes down to. What, do you like her or not? And if you do, how are you gonna show each other that? In the end, that's for you two to decide.
A young pair's sexual troubles were very innocent, and the kind of thing that could change completely depending on one's country, culture, or religion. However, Jaden and Meow were fortunately part of the same cultural sphere and had similar values when it came to romance. On top of that, the AOU was accepting of all sorts of genders, and same-sex marriages were legal as well. In other words, you should decide freely by your own will as a pair who loves each other. That's the world you live in. So you should enjoy your love to the fullest within those rules. It wasn't as though they were irresponsibly supporting a romance of a couple with unknown gender. You said this with the understanding that the AOU acknowledged same-sex couples. The AOU claimed to have abolished discrimination against sexual minorities, but not all factions did this. If Jaden and Meow had been in a different faction or cultural sphere, the others would probably have offered different advice. If Meow and I weren't from the AOU, could this have gotten messy?
In the ABN, homosexuality is accepted, at least on the surface. However, the Unified Religious Council keeps putting off making a decision about whether or not homosexuality is acceptable. Because of that, fundamentalists who likes to call themselves devout still take an unsympathetic attitude. This guy seems gay.
I repeat, when has religion done anything good politically? In the ACR, same-sex marriage is officially supported. Still, was it last year? It got out that one of the princes was gay and everyone freaked out. Pretty sure he gave up his place in the royal succession and was forced to become a monk.
Yeah, I remember that. Gender minorities across the ACR started holding protests, right?
It's not as though people across the world are free to do whatever they want, like in the AOU. We still don't know for sure if Meow's the same sex as me, but the world does have all kinds of issues, doesn't it? Do you remember that girl, Ruki, from my squad, Suparna? Rukshana? I remember her. She's the cute girl who came in waving with you during the Battle Standard Festival, right? In the culture of our country, it's considered immoral to have members of the opposite sex in the workplace. Wait, what? And how do men and women work together? Similar to how men and women have different bathrooms and changing rooms, people in our culture think it better to have workplaces that are divided between boys and girls. What a modest culture. Because of that, when it came out that the squad had been assigned had a man in it, it caused a bit of a fuss in our home country. Political concerns in the COU upper echelons had been partly responsible for the formation of that cat, so they couldn't have Andrew leave their ace squad just for Rukshana's sake. Instead, the heads of the COU government had stepped in personally to mediate, and in the end, the whole matter was settled by having the king of Rukshana's country publicly announce that she had been given special permission.
I don't want you to get the wrong idea, but I'm not trying to say one group is right or wrong here. I'm just pointing out that all regions have their own cultures, which have been developed over long histories. They all have to respect one another. Fortunately, in the cultural sphere you and Meow live in, there shouldn't be any problems regardless of what her sex actually is.
I see where it's coming from, but I don't agree.
With what?
I think that it is possible for some cultures to just be wrong. Like, when America had slavery, that wasn't just, oh, it's their culture. No, they're just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, that specific thing I would agree with.
No,
I don't know what else.
I agree with that across the board. If any culture has, like, a bad, a bad stigma or a bad standard, then it's just bad. It's not like, oh, that's their culture. No, it's just bad. Like, it makes sense why the people who live in that culture would think that way because of the way that they were raised, but on the part of the culture, no, that's just bad.
Ah. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, that's all I'm saying.
Still, there's one thing I want to make sure you remember. The AOU, whether it's same-sex marriage or whatever, that issue only concerns the two people involved. However, in another region, that would be completely different. In some situations, no matter how much you two decided you loved each other, that wouldn't work out. Make sure you don't forget that, okay? In that sense, you were quite fortunate, Jade. Ellipses. There are all sorts of There are all sorts of cultures and ways of thinking in this world. The AOU calls itself an advanced nation when it comes to human rights. However, that might be quite an arrogant way of thinking about it. For example, same-sex marriages are allowed in the AOU, but marriage between close relatives is not. However, if there existed a country that didn't allow same-sex marriages, but did allow marriages between close relatives, then the AOU would definitely be a backwards nation in their eyes. It isn't as though the cultures and laws of each and every place suddenly fall out of the sky one day engraved on stone tablets. These things have been brewed throughout long histories of peoples in these lands. It would be arrogant for an outsider to call some of them advanced and some backwards. Sure, you can say, like, I wouldn't say that one culture can be more advanced or backwards than another, because that doesn't really mean anything. I will make moral judgments about them, though.
I mean, I think advanced and backwards is just, like, not very objective. It's subjective based off of how far you...
Well,
like,
obviously it's all subjective, but
yeah.
I just don't think there's really a clear way to define that, and isn't really a useful prescription to begin with.
Exactly.
So when
It's like...
Oh, go on.
I was just saying, it's like, what does advanced even mean? Is it an advanced culture if they have a lot of technology within their culture? That would be pretty advanced.
I mean, we could say an advanced culture would be one where everyone wears banana peels on their heads, because nobody has done that before. Nobody has had that culture before, so that means it's new, which means it's more advanced, right?
I mean, I sort of took advanced to mean, like, technology.
Well, that's obviously not, like, what they're saying here.
Yeah.
So when some aspect of a culture doesn't fit with its era, it's up to the people living in that cultural sphere to decide whether they should change it or not. Since even a single culture can have so many divergent views, if this pair of lovers had actually been from different cultures, then this issue would surely have become even more complicated. It's even possible that it wouldn't work out, even if both of the lovers decided to go through with it. We'll talk it over alone and make a decision. We won't worry about what other people say. Those are the rules of this land, and I've decided to deepen my relationship with Meow. That's good. As far as overcoming differences between American and Japanese culture, you should find countless tips on the net for those who've succeeded on it. The rest is up to me to figure out. The answer is obvious. Conclusion? No matter what sex or body is, I, Jaden, like Meow. However, if I know her sex beforehand, I'll be able to control myself in various ways. I'm sure I'll be able to avoid hurting. No, maybe it'll hurt just to know that I'm thinking this. Oh wait, I'm making a mistake here. That isn't something you have to figure out alone. It's something Meow and I have to figure out. If both of us really do want to be together, I'm sure we'll naturally find the proper distance to keep while still being ourselves. Isn't that obvious now, considering how much we've managed to relax around each other since we've arrived at Neo Akihabara?
Guess you really do want to know. I guess you really do want to know, right?
I find it kind of weird that Meow is introduced and marketed as the main character, but we're, like, through Jaden's perspective 80% of the time. It's just interesting, because I guess you kind of want to have it through his perspective, because he's closer to, like, the majority of people who would be reading this, and it kind of works as, like, a vessel to understand.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
What do you mean?
About my biological sex.
Jaden panicked, thinking she'd seen right through him. Then again, Meow had probably been having a mental conference with her female friends, just like Jaden.
Yeah.
I love you, Meow.
I like how the response to that is just thank you.
It'd be funnier if the response was just sorry. Still, I didn't fall in love with you because you're a girl. It's because you're Meow.
Uh-huh.
It's because you're Meow. So I'm not gonna force you to tell me.
I see.
And anyway, how can you be so sure I'm a guy? See how long my hair is? Maybe when I'm in the room, I tie it into twin tails and wear a mini skirt maid outfits, right?
I I think I'd like to see that.
So don't worry about it. We don't even live in a time where the Ciconia can carry babies to us. Worrying about biological sex is a concept of the past.
You're saying that out of concern for me, aren't you? Thanks, Jaden. Still, I really do think this is unfair.
What is?
I'm being unfair, not you.
What, seriously? Why?
I started liking you knowing you're a wonderful man, but you started liking me without even knowing my sex. Is biological sex really so important when two people like each other? Well, I do believe Jaden has the right to seek sexual relations with the opposite gender in his dating life. Wow. What relations? My kid boy started croaking and I couldn't hear that part.
Would have been better if it was just, wow, and that's it. That's her input. Oh my. Want me to show you how to take off your filters? I agree with Rethabile. If Jaden isn't going to be able to find out what he's looking for, he has the right to spend all that effort on a different girl. Maybe it's the same kind of unfairness as a married person pretending to be single and talking to someone looking for marriage.
For Jaden.
Dying.
No, for men, is it really that so important that the one they love be of the opposite sex?
Princess, finding that fact to be strange or unsightly. It's a sign of ignorance about the opposite sex.
Have you heard of the book What Men Think About Apart from Sex? What men think about... What men think about apart from Karika?
Oh, she has the Roblox filter.
Yeah. It's just way, yeah. Men must really love Karika. Wow. What men think about apart from sex?
That sounds interesting. Let's look it up. Now searching wheel. Search results. There is a novel written by the same. There's a novel of that name written by Sheridan. However you say that. Colloquially, it's also a phrase used to refer to a blank notebook, ironically implying that men don't think about anything other than sex. Wasn't there also a book called What Women Think About Apart from Money? Now, if you're worried about that and you really like him, wouldn't it be better to come clean and tell him?
Ellipses.
That's certainly one option. To be honest, we don't even know what your body's real sex is. Similarly, we act like women. Though we act like women, there's no way to know what our body's sexes are. Our bodies are far apart, and we can only meet in Kizuna virtual rooms, so our sexes don't really matter. However, in your world, where bodies can actually approach each other, I'm sure it matters a lot.
I think that as long as love is mutual, it can be shared between people regardless of sex. And even with inanimate objects if you take it to an extreme.
That's quite a unique way of thinking, however you say that name. I don't dislike it, though.
I'm aware that this view is only shared by a tiny minority, both in the COU and the world at large. I suppose gender really is important. If telling him the truth would make him give up on you, then that love wouldn't have lasted long anyways. If that's the case, you'd be better off making things clearer sooner rather than later.
Does this mean your sex really is one that would make him give up on you?
No, it's not like that. Thanks everyone for worrying so much and for my sake. It's not as though I'm keeping quiet because my sex would make Jaden give up on me.
Wait, I just got an idea. What if it's like they were talking about with Grave Maul, where like they're like artificial weapons? What if that's what it is?
Oh.
So she doesn't actually have any.
That would be good. Yes. That would be yes. That's what that would be. That's my problem. Our problem.
Meow had personalities of two different genders in a single body, so a gender reveal wouldn't only have consequences for her. Bearing that in mind, this certainly wasn't an easy problem.
Whether you decide to reveal it or not, that choice will also be a part of your romantic experience.
Only $5.99.
If they both have love, there's no barrier they won't be able to cross. Wow.
In the end, what Naima just said is the answer. No matter how we bartered and try to offer advice, it isn't as important as the answer Meow decides for herself. Meow, I think you should enjoy your love, including the part where you worry over this question.
Jaden, I'll definitely tell you about my body someday.
Don't worry about it, okay? There's no need to force yourself.
No, I want to tell you. I just need a bit more time to prepare myself mentally.
I see.
So, Christmas.
Huh? Search results. In Japan, Christmas is considered a major event for couples, Poyo. By the way, America roasts turkey for Christmas, but in Japan they eat fried chicken for some reason, Poyo. That's true, actually. And it's not just fried chicken, it's specifically KFC.
Oh. Like, is it turkey for Thanksgiving, though?
What do you mean? No, it's turkey for Christmas, too.
Okay. I don't think I have that many Christmas parties.
Okay.
Anyway, if
Though to be fair, the feast part of Christmas has been kind of downplayed more recently.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
If we can still feel this way about each other on Christmas, I'll tell you then. Is that too long to wait?
Not at all. I'll respect your feelings. But still, thanks.
Why?
Probably decided to do that for my sake. Thanks for caring about me so much. I'll make sure I care for you just as much, Meow. So I'll make you a promise right now.
Okay. That face.
By the way, there was a cut in the video a few minutes ago for those watching, and I got a drink, so that's why my voice is slightly less dead now. I love you regardless of what sex you are. You're the best girlfriend and best buddy a guy could have.
Thanks, Jaden.
Christmas wasn't that far off. Once autumn and then winter came, it would be here. They passed in front of a home appliance modding store. In the window, a TV toaster hybrid was showing them the news. Okay.
Okay.
I'm standing in front of the IPMA headquarters in Ledo, Brazil. Just now, their spokesperson commented on the conflicts breaking out simultaneously across the globe, saying that because interventions made any particular conflict might benefit or harm one faction or another, they would have to wait for the situation to de-escalate before taking action. He made it clear that they don't intend to interfere with any of these conflicts at this time. In response to this, the AOU Joint Press Secretary said, Interrupt CM. Derogator Poyo Poyo. Have you upgraded to the new version of Kero Poyo? Definitely not evil. For a small fee, you'll be able to remove ads like this one, Poyo. You haven't done that yet, so it'll be 2 minutes and 58 seconds until the ad ends, Poyo. I'd rather kill myself.
What?
If I had to sit through 2 minutes, if I had to sit for 3 minutes of ads, I'd just die.
Yeah.
Like
3 minutes.
Ads cause me physical pain. Like, anytime an ad shows up on anything, my brain is like, oh my god, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away.
What I usually do is just turn the volume all the way down and just look the other way. And it's like,
Okay. Now let's sing the Audi Frog's coming of age journey. Okay, so this is the part where you're not supposed to go further, but this was the original one, and apparently it might be chapter 14 now. And regardless, I'll be recording it anyway. It'll either be like unlisted or like I'll edit the video before I put it up.
Logic. Yes.
But yeah, that's the end of the chapter. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. It's interesting how direct they are with this stuff in this game, because a lot of the other works, like Umineko, for example, has stuff like this in it. I don't want to say too much because we're playing that right now in spoilers, but it was a lot more vague so that you could technically say, nah, that it isn't there. Like that kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Like vague.
Where like
As in,
if you're not like if you disagree with that stuff politically, you can be like, nah, that isn't canon, even though it's like hinted at every single corner.
oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
you can
So
pick and choose the information that you want taken.
yeah. So I wonder what the reception for this game is in like Japan specifically. But yeah, that's I guess the end of this bit. We never know how to start or end episodes of anything, but
Yeah, it's just saying, well, I guess this is the start. I guess this is the end.
pretty much. Bye.